Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike McIntyre. This is my friend Barry Poplack. We are going to be speaking to you tonight on just about anything. This is a podcast designed to make sense. I find that in our world nowadays, there's so much information being force-fed to so many people through so many different outlets, through so many different medias, that it's hard to get a grasp on what actually is sensible and what is important. Mr. Barry?
I agree. I think the more you watch the news nowadays, there's so much of it that doesn't make sense, and it's being rammed down your throats that it is making sense.
And again, you have to be careful as to what you're watching. I know myself, like I try to stay away from social media as much as I can.
Well, I don't have anything to do with social media.
Because I find that social media, okay, I'm going to go a little off the rail here a bit. Even on the way here, I had the radio playing in the car. I'm not going to mention the DJ's name. It was on the radio, and he was talking about a new trend that's the biggest thing on TikTok right now. And I had to say to myself, you've got to be kidding me. And it's something called Borg.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I heard that too.
Yeah, B-O-R-G.
Yeah.
And it's the fastest way to get drunk.
To black out, basically.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, number one, why would you repeat that on the radio? You're like, and tell people where to watch it, just to encourage somebody to go out and do something like that.
That's it. And there's so many kids out there that will,
Oh, well, look at the Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, perhaps, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate too, because it's too bad, kids have to try something new without thinking about it first,
Did you ever hear this one? If your friends jumped off a bridge?
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's what our parents told us.
Yeah.
In our day, right? That's what our parents told us.
Yeah.
Well, if Jim was going to jump off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge too?
Yeah, well, in some cases they might.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I suppose, yeah.
I know, like one of the things that I heard too is like when you're younger, like you don't have to put your head under the tire to find out if it's going to hurt or not.
Mm-hmm.
Something should just make sense.
Yeah. Or you don't have to touch the stove once. To know that you better not do that.
Yeah. No, I was going back to this thing about information, the news, and social media. Like, I'm sure that I'd say 75% of the people think they have your best interests at heart when they report what they believe to be, important or what they believe to be news. However, when they talk about the narratives that are out there, without getting into too much detail, again, it all comes down to your political point of view most times as to who you're going to choose to listen to.
Yeah.
And if you're choosing to listen to a specific news outlet, you're only going to get one side of the story. And I know for years, like I've told my kids all throughout like their childhood and now into adulthood, if you're going to debate someone, you need to be well versed not just in your point of view, but in their point of view.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. And that's just it. The news, no matter what station you watch, no matter what radio station you're listening to, or whatever, they all have their own point of view, and that's all you hear is their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to listen to everybody, and form your opinions from that.
Yeah.
You still may not know what the truth is.
Yeah.
You may not know. There's probably a little bit of truth in each one of them, or whatever.
You may know what the truth. You may not know what the truth is, or if they're telling the truth, and a lot of it's going to be opinion and conjecture.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with it.
No, that's just it. And then you pick out what you believe in.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like it's a face value thing for me. Like if someone comes up to me and gives me a story or tells me a story, first of all, I have to look at the person that's telling me the story and how well do I know this person? what basis can I put my faith and trust into this person that I can accept what they're telling me?
Well, I mean, when you look at somebody, it's a manner of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't go like this and talk to somebody. You know, you look them in the eye and you speak to them, and they can read your face, you can read their face, or whatever, your body language and whatever. So you get more of a feeling that way about the person rather than, well, you may as well be talking on the phone if you're not going to be looking at them, you know, or texting, whatever it might be.
And like, I like what you said about looking them in the eye. I've told people that I've been in conversation with in buildings, like inside of a building, that refuse to take their sunglasses off. I'm like, if you're not taking your sunglasses off to talk to me, then we're done talking.
Yeah.
You know, take your glasses off. Show some respect.
Yeah, but see, these aren't sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
these are those. Well, I can't remember what they're called, but they go dark when you walk into the light.
Yeah, but no, you have a very good point. Like when you're talking with somebody, it's important to make eye contact.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just common courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And unfortunately, like that's another thing. Like we're going to go down a few rabbit trails here. I think, Mr. Berry, the more we talk, the more we're going to open up a lot of things that need to be discussed. And it's going.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and I hope it makes sense. Otherwise, we'd have to change the title of this show.
Yeah. Well, as I have like to have said, I've said many times. Of course, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna tell you something to purposely, lead you astray.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say something to you that's going to be, like, to the best of my knowledge, false or a lie or a fallacy. Like, I don't gain anything by it.
Yeah, and it's not. I hope it doesn't turn out to be that kind of a show where we're putting a hand on someone's shoulder and saying, "Trust me."
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm going to tell you is true.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. Although a lot of the things we are going to talk about, they will be true.
Yeah.
But I'll be kind of mixing it up.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone honest.
Yeah. No, I've all like thinking about like talking to somebody and giving them like the facts. I've said this to my kids growing up, and even to this day, like a lot of the young people I work with, is to never take advice from somebody who has never done or at least tried to do what you are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first person to tell you that you can't do something is somebody who's never tried it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody's got their own methods. You know, they just have to look at it and say, "Oh, he's doing it all wrong." Well, have you ever done it? No, but I mean, I can see that he's doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's I don't know. I guess most people, they've got their own way of doing it, and everybody is I don't know what you want to say. Everybody is an expert at everything until they have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And then they have to learn it too. So I don't know. It's like.
Well, I've used this expression many times in my life too. The difference between knowledge and wisdom. And knowledge is when you do something, make a mistake, and you learn from it. Wisdom is when you've watched somebody else do it, they've made the mistake, and you correct it from there.
You can help them correct it, yeah.
Yeah. When you can learn from somebody else's
well,
mistakes.
also too, I mean, when you show somebody what to do, or even if you keep telling other people what to do and how to do it, especially if you are proficient at whatever that might be. It could be a job. It could be anything. You know, the more you do it, the more you become confident in yourself, knowing that what you're doing is right, and you feel better because they say the best way to learn a job is to teach someone how to do it.
Yeah, I joke about this because the place where I work, I won't mention names, but the machinery I use, like I've been doing it for a number of years. I'm fairly proficient, and I've had people say, "Well, how did you learn how to do that?" And I talk about this gentleman that used to work there, and I watched how he did it, and I said, "I'm never doing it that way."
Well, okay, but by the same purpose, or in the same vein, I used to train people when I was working. I used to train people on how to do it, and I told them right off the bat, I says, "You will do it my way."
Yeah.
You will do it my way until you get comfortable enough that you can start doing it your way.
Yeah.
But when I leave, and you're on your own, you'll be doing it my way.
Mm-hmm.
And now if I come back in a week or two and you're doing it another way, I won't question you, because I'll know that you feel comfortable doing it this way. But at least you got the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
from me. You were doing it my way the last time I saw you, and I won't. And there was a lot of people that I did train that were doing it their own way.
Yeah.
You know,
If you can improve upon it.
Yeah, for sure. Or if or it's more comfortable. It's
Yeah.
like being right-handed or left-handed. You know, if you tell somebody, you teach somebody how to do a job right-handed and they're left-handed, they just look at you and go, come on, you know, and you can't do that. So
we're not all Gordie Howe. We can't shoot both ways.
Wow. But you know, they've got to, you know, people have to have, you got to be lenient with them. You have to let them go their own, you know, go their own way. It's like bringing up kids, I guess, just when you're training people as well. It's just not, it's not good to be a disciplinarian, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they do need some guidance, and sometimes that takes the discipline as well.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
But you wouldn't do that with a coworker. I mean, you're not going to stand over top of them with a whip or whatever. And say,
well,
you know.
not when anybody's watching.
Well, no.
Yeah.
But I was a supervisor after a while too, so I could have used the whip.
Yep.
Just a joke, folks.
Yeah. Well, and again, going back to the purpose of this, like this is a first run. We are still learning. We're going to be learning lots. We will be discussing various topics, but for the time being, it is just an introduction to say we need to like take this world and all this influx of information, whether it's true, false, trying to figure out how to take what is true. First of all, truth is important, and apply it to not just our lives, but somebody else's life.
Oh, well, just the world in general.
Yeah, like trying to make some sense of all this information it's a labor. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of understanding on our part too. But at the same time, we have to make sense of the world around us. And when it doesn't make sense, it's confusing. People get lost, and
and they get frustrated.
It's frustrating. That's another one.
And that's what's happening in our world today. You see it on TV. You know, they're throwing Molotov cocktails and and you know, blowing up buses and whatever.
Well, Mr. Barry, I'm looking forward to sitting down with you again.
Yeah, I think we should do this more often.
I think we will. What we are going to do, we'll come up with a short list of topics for the future.
Yeah, but we're not going to follow them, are we?
No, probably not.
No. Okay,
you know what? You get to be our age, you just kind of go off topic.
Yeah, well, because I can't keep a thought in my head more than 15 seconds.
Well, folks, this has been fun. We look forward to seeing you again. We'll talk about everything from games to marriage to work to employment, sports, and sports is a big one.
Sports.
Yeah. But yeah, we just want to help people. We want to encourage people to not get frustrated and just take things one step at a time. Do things slowly, methodically, and hopefully we can help you to make it make sense. We'll see you next time.